CMIS 3114. Data Communication and Computer Networks. 2020. Practical Sessions. Router Configuration. Part 1. Two methods of access Cisco devices. GUI, Graphical User Interface. CLI, Command Line Interface. In this session, we are going to learn about CLI method. Steps to configure a Cisco router. Connect a PC to the Cisco device by using a console cable. Use a terminal emulator software to access the device by using command line interface. Example PuTTY, Secure CRT. In this picture you can see how the router connects to the PC, DB9 connector connects to the COM port, and the RJ45 connector connect to the console port. Cisco IOS, the software using in the Cisco routers and switches. We are going to connect the Cisco IOS by using CLI. Steps that follow by the router when it switches on. When we power up the router, it checks about its hardware. Name it as post. Power on self-test. Then load the iOS image to the RAM. After that, load the configuration file. Memory types in a Cisco device. RAM, random access memory. When the device power off, stored data will erase. The running config file is stored here. NVRAM, non-volatile random access memory. When the device power off, stored data will not erase. The startup config file is stored here. Flash. Cisco iOS image file is stored in here. ROM, read-only memory. Like BIOS in a normal PC, Bootstrap loader software is stored in here. After the power on self-test, devices look on the value of configuration register. According to that value, load the iOS image. Also according to that value, startup config file, copy to the running config file and load it. MAC address table, routing table, ARP table are some other files that can be stored in the RAM. Configuration register. A 16-bit value. If its value equal to hex 2102, loads the startup config file. If 6th-bit value equal to 1, its value is hex 2142. In that situation, bypass the startup config and enter the ROM monitor mode. Modes in the routers. Mainly there are 3 modes. User mode. Privilege mode. Also known as enable mode and EXEC mode. Global configuration mode. Also, setup mode. ROM monitor mode. User mode. Show by this command prompt. Only a few commands can be given in this mode. By question mark, show the help command. In here it shows the commands that can give in the user mode. Privilege mode. When we are in user mode, by using the enable command can switch to privilege mode. The short form for the enable command is EN. Question mark, help, in here it shows the commands that can give in the privilege mode. Global configuration mode. When we are in privilege mode, by using the configure terminal command can switch to global configuration mode. Short form for the configure terminal command is conft. Question mark, help, in here it shows the commands that can give in the global configuration mode. Configuration modes. Global configuration mode. Interface configuration mode. Router configuration mode. When you want to move from this stage to the backward stage, use the exit command. To enter privilege mode, use the end command. Also, by using the Ctrl and Z keys can enter the privilege mode. Setup mode. When powering up a router without a configuration, it enters this mode. Setup mode is a system configuration dialog. Would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog for this question? You answer is yes or no. If the answer is no, enter the user mode. If the answer is yes, after answering the all questions that are given, can configure the router. ROM monitor mode. After the power on self-test, check the configuration register value. According to the value can enter the ROM monitor mode. Or when the router boots up, by pressing Ctrl and break can enter the ROM in mode. In the packet tracer, we can use Ctrl and C. In here you can see the command prompt of the ROM monitor mode. When we forgot the password of the router, we can resolve it by using this mode. To exit from the ROM in mode, use the reset command. Let's try these things in our packet tracer. Setup mode. Would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? Answer no. Press enter. Now you are in the user mode. Press question mark. Commands that can use in the user mode. Type enable command. Now you are in the privilege mode. Press question mark. Commands that can use in the privilege mode. Type configure terminal command. Now you are in the configuration mode. Press question mark. Commands that can use in the configuration mode. Setup mode. Would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog? Answer yes. Answering all questions that are given. And configure the router. To exit from the setup mode, press Ctrl and C. In the user mode, can use EN as the short form of enable. Privilege mode. Reload the router. When it boots up, press Ctrl and C. Now you are in the ROM monitor mode. To exit from this mode, use the reset command. Let's see how to use exit, end, and Ctrl Z. By giving conf T switching from privilege mode to configuration mode. By giving interface G000 command switch to interface configuration command. By giving exit command 1 stage backward. By giving end command back to privilege mode. By pressing Ctrl and Z back to privilege mode. Let's see configuration modes. Global configuration mode. Interface configuration mode. Router configuration mode.